I still see in 2026 scarcity mindset, hubris, ego, nonprofits that instead of collaborating with each other and lifting each other up, because that's my heart. I don't care that you put my name on something. I don't care that you call out Transformation Kitchen or HR for You. What I care about is that we impact more lives. How do we leave a legacy of change and impact more lives? Because that's truly the work. And I still find to this day organizations and people that can't get out of their own way. That really is a shame.
Good morning, everybody. I am here this morning with Chason from HR for You. Welcome to Grow Healthy, Help People, a podcast that Accordis puts on. We are excited to be talking to you today, Chason. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited to hear more about what you guys do over there. But before we get really into it, will you tell me a little bit about how you even got to being in a nonprofit space? What did you start out doing? How did you get here?
This is I'll give you the really dialed down version,
Yeah.
but so I am a kid from abuse. My biological mother and my stepmother for the first 16 years of my life were highly abusive,
Wow.
and it put me in a frame of mind that I coming up as a boomer, we don't talk about. People are very guarded. My
Right.
family especially is very guarded, so we're shoving down all those emotions and things. And as I've got all these great grades. I can go to any school I wanted to, but I had a whole bunch of the oldest of a gaggle of boys. I've got brothers behind me. We do not have a lot of money in my family. And so I needed to go someplace where I could get in and have the school cover a lot of it. So I ended up going to New Paltz. And at that time, I joined at 15 the culinary ranks. And at 16, I started taking drugs to just silence all the demons that were going on and all the shame and doubt and fear and anger and violence that was happening in my life. And so that path went on for over a decade and was rough. And in my culinary journey, I ended up with a chef that had been 10 years clean and sober himself. And it's a big thing. We're talking about it more now in life, like the Burnt Chef Project and all these other places are coming out. But back in the early 80s, that was we weren't talking about it. You sucked it up. And so it is a common theme, even now in 2026, to see the addiction and some of the journeys in the culinary world. I worked with other nonprofits. I even in my culinary journey was employed by a nonprofit doing culinary work. So I got a peek behind the curtain, but it really wasn't until I had moved past and was getting through my addiction journey myself and cleaning up my own life from that chef that paid it forward to me that was 10 years clean and sober, that I ended up working with nonprofits with my fractional HR work that I do, and seeing really the true dynamic, really diving into what's going on and the nuts and bolts. And because of that, I'm sitting here thinking to myself as a kid that's gone through all this stuff, and I've seen all these journeys and I've built businesses myself for other people. And now this fractional HR group that I've got two other partners with, and we're being very successful. And I'm like, we could do a better job, because my goal in life is to help people. It's not about hubris or ego or patting myself on the back or, you're such a great dude because you ran so many people through the program. It's like, how could we get people to thrive? Because when we break cycles, it has a rippling effect on everyone, communities, families. And so we built out Transformation Kitchen to be able to break those cycles of poverty, homelessness, and food insecurity. And that was because I got to see full picture zone, working with nonprofits, doing fundraising on the outside as a company, and then as a HR guy, seeing behind the curtain and being like, wow, I thought I thought all nonprofits sang kumbaya and like we're going to save the world, and that wasn't what it was. There were the same dynamics going on in corporate America as there were in nonprofits, because nonprofits are a business. The
Mhm.
same dynamics were happening, except for there was more, there was more paperwork and more registrations and more stuff. So I'm like, wow, we could, how do we show up as an organization, teach leaders how to do a better job, help them with the people side of what's going on, and then be a leader in our industry, because there's literally, out of hundreds, thousands of places in the United States that teach culinary skills to people, there are exactly four that
Wow.
do the breadth of what we do.
Wow.
So, so that
That's
was a
incredible.
long answer,
No, I love
but
that. That's incredible. Well, and I just love that you guys have such this cool focus in the culinary world, where a lot of people who look at nonprofits, they would never see that as an opportunity to reach people.
yeah,
And I think that's really cool. So tell me more about the transformational kitchen. I want to hear, like, how does it work? What all do you offer in that?
I, I'll give you the brief rundown. It's
Yeah.
12-week program. We bring people in from, we call it underserved communities. That could
Mhm.
be a mom that's
Yeah.
now on her own with kids trying to figure it out and is like, this is a dumpster fire of trying to get hired. Or it is someone who's just as impacted, people that are working through their addiction journey, someone who is just underemployed. We primarily, this is what we see in other countries that we work in, we primarily see 18 to 50 females of color. It's going to be interesting to see, because we've got the first three, we call them forges, because you're forging and transforming your life. And I don't like the word students for adults. I'm like, yeah, that's great. We can all be students. I'm a student of life, but we call it forges. So the forges that are coming in, the first 3 to 5 that we have in Beacon, New York, as we create this, we're building that out now, our flagship store in the United States. We are focused on an individual being holistically sound, health, wellness, financial security, having a living wage job, getting culinary skills, getting life skills, power skills, because there's nothing soft about EQ or empathy or these other things. So I love power skills, and then taking all of that and giving them tools and resources. They got to do the work. They got to be willing to do the work. It's not a, I've done it. So I know that it's not a linear path, and it is not easy. But doing the work and being willing to do it and having the hand up, not a hand out, so they can break the cycles themselves. And then they're empowered with hope. They're empowered with the ability to move on. So there's two main things that we do that other people don't do: the breadth of services that we offer, and the fact that when you come into the forge, you're always in the forge. We care about what happens to you 6 months, a year, 5 years down the road. Are you are you back in prison? Are you back to your old life? Or are you thriving? And a lot of that has to do with your income. A lot of that has to do with your circumstances. So if we can keep you tied into what we're doing and employ you ourselves, or employ you with one of our culinary partners, and there's a lot you can do. Anybody who's ever, I encourage any family, especially young families, when they're raising kids, make sure your kids spend some time in the service industry. It is an education that is like better than an education. Like that literally will carry on into any field you go in. Learning what it means to serve other people is such a valuable skill that not enough people have today. So we're empowering them to break the chains of poverty, homelessness, and food insecurity. And that's the differentiator. That's the piece. Like, come back, come to a class, come tell us, mentor other people that are going through the program. Stay with us and work with us. Make this your home. Um, it's exciting. It's scary and it's exciting all at the same time because it's it's everything we had hoped for all coming together right now.
Yeah. So, how many people do you typically have during that 12-week cycle?
And it's a great question. What we're going to start out doing, because we really, every time we build a TK, no matter where it is, we build a different syllabus and a different curriculum because it's a different environment. It makes it makes all the financial people that are investing in us crazy, but it is absolutely what makes us work. And I as we're building this out here, because this is our flagship store in the United States, we're intent that we're going to bring in 3 to 5 forges. We're going to let them go through the entire 12-week process. And along the way, we're going to figure out what's working, what's not working, what do we need to do, what do we need to tweak? Because after that, what ends up happening is you bring in, because this is a smaller space, we're going to bring in 3 people and they start with the first month is about basics and learning knife skills and learning community and learning to work together and a whole host of things along those lines. Then they move, we go freshman, junior, we just skip, we go freshman, junior. And as a junior, you start working in production and you start helping us create packaged goods and do light catering and what does it mean to scale recipes and then learning more, things. While you're moving there, we're bringing 3 more people in. So, at as the middle group, as the juniors move to seniors and they start running the fast casual restaurant that we have, you've got 9 folks that are in 9 forges that are all part of the program at one time, and they become employees. They start learning all the things they need, serve safe and sanitation and everything else. So there's all these moving parts and there's all these things happening, but they get to see it and the world gets to see it in real time as it's happening and then get excited about, wow, this is truly happened. This is truly breaking. Look, here's John, here's Shaquita, here's Sam,
Yes.
and they're doing it, and we can see them. We can watch them cooking. We can watch them doing what they do, and it's just powerful. It's so powerful. So we're going to end up having, I guarantee after the first 12 weeks, we will have a wait list. We will not be able to bring enough people in. But we're working with right now 3 different agencies, and I know that will expand as well as people start to see and the dominoes, they start to see what we're doing and the dominoes start falling. It's going to be a huge, huge um, impact to not only Beacon, but the Hudson Valley of New York, the central part of New York. And it's going to be a model for what other people do around the country. That's what we want. Let's not just teach culinary skills. Let's make sure that we're breaking cycles. Let's not just give a hand out to people.
Right.
Let's attach a way to get out of their circumstances.
Yes, yes. So when they complete that program, what does that graduation look like to you? Is it looking like now they're employed, they have found a job, they're on their feet
Yeah.
and they're moving forward?
Yeah, all of the things.
Yeah.
They will have a job when they get into the second segment. So after they get through the first month, they have opportunities for employment. So they're already starting to make money and they can already start to make choices and they can already start to see that hope and what that life's going to look like as they're building and they're learning and they're growing. They get to reap the benefits. And so it sparks that this is possible. this, I can do this. And that's huge. Someone, when someone asked me something similar to this a while back, and I said, I I envision their graduation being the shedding of the old life and the
Mm,
beginning of what could be.
yes. Yeah, I think that's incredible. And I love what you said that I love that they are already getting employed in that second part because you're not just throwing them out into the wild after they complete. You're not just saying, "Here you go, there's your job, go for it." You're taking them while they have a job and you're working with them with their financial resources because now they have this other addition that they're having to work through and helping them see how to use their money, see how to, work with this job in their home life. And so I love that you start that process while they're in your program. I think that's so important. I think that's awesome.
Well, also too, one of our partners is local. We have a fantastic local bank, Mid Hudson Valley Federal Credit Union. We will help the individuals get the financial resources and tools they need so that they're
Mm,
smart with their money. They have an account that they open up. If they don't have a bank account, we help them with that. And then we teach them the financial resources so they know how to budget. They understand not to be afraid of money and that money is a tool, and learn what that's about and how to use it wisely. That's important.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, I know you're getting this kicked off in the US. What about internationally?
You're gonna love this. This is just how great God is. I'm just dumb enough as a hockey guy just to skate through the open doors. But God opened up a door last June, and we opened up our very first transformation kitchen in Matagalpa, Nicaragua. So we are already global, and we won a grant from an amazing organization in New York City called the Up Foundation. Jerry Posman and his crew there, so that Rayo de Sol, our partners on the ground there in Nicaragua, and I can create mobile kitchens so we can reach more people because it's a mountainous region, and sometimes it takes miles of travel to get to these communities. So we're incredibly blessed. We won a $15,000 grant to just be able to create something even more from what we're doing and add on to the program. So I'll be going back to Nicaragua a little bit later this year after we open and get steady our Beacon, New York. And then it looks like fourth quarter of this year, I'm going to be spending some time in Australia in the Sydney area. And we're going to be building out 2 to 3 locations simultaneously with First Nation organizations that they teach construction and plumbing and all these other things, and they have access to kitchens, and they're not using them they're using them to feed people, but they're not using them to teach resources. So our president for the for HR for You lives in Sydney and runs a global organization herself. She's got 75 employees through Canada, United States, and Australia. And she's just an incredibly brilliant lady, Kylie Van Leeuwen. And she's already like, hey, mate, I've got these, organizations here, and you're gonna come stay with me and my family. And I'm just like, I'm not doing her service. She's gonna hear that. She's gonna slap me. But she is such an incredible human being, just an amazing person. And so she's making all the connections and the dots, and it looks like that's going to happen fourth quarter of this year. And then it looks like next year, I thought it would happen this year, but it probably will happen in 2027. A couple spots in Canada. And, so I'm just going to go
That's incredible.
where the doors open,
That's right. Yes.
and
I love that.
that's all I can do.
I love that. That's amazing. Yeah, that's exciting. Not many people start a nonprofit in the US and go global
Like,
before even really
we
starting in the
thought
US.
that was going to be like 5 years or so down the road, and it's
Right.
just, yeah, no, I got you.
That's awesome. Well, now that you're really in the nonprofit space and working through it, what would you say are your biggest challenges as a leader right now that you're facing?
It's funny. The it's funny and sad and frustrating and all the emotions. I still see in 2026 scarcity mindset, hubris, ego, nonprofits that instead of collaborating with each other and lifting each other up and looking for ways that how can I show up for you and help you? Because that's my heart. I want I don't care that you put my name on something. I don't care that you call out Transformation Kitchen or HR for you. What I care about is that we impact more lives. How do we leave a legacy of change and impact more lives? Because that's truly the work. And I still find to this day organizations and people that can't get out of their own way. And that's a shame. That really is a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true because as organizations, if everyone would come together and utilize the resources that they have and the knowledge that they have to help people together, it
Mm.
would make such a big difference in the
Can
world.
you imagine? Can
Yep.
you imagine how
So,
quickly we would solve so many problems if
yes.
just the nonprofits, forgetting local government and other places like that. I always say when we go into a new area, I need local government to get on board or get out of the way. I don't care which one you do. Either get on board and be like, yes, we're going to make this happen, or get out of the way. But if we as good grief, how many thousands of nonprofits are there? And most of them make below 300,000 a year. They're all tiny. They're all small. Band together. It doesn't matter what your cause is. Band together, find ways to support each other, lift each other up and get out of the way. Cuz it's not about them. It's not about me. It's not, it's about impact.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Well, guys, if you're a nonprofit leader and you're watching this, I want to encourage you to check out our website at Acordis. We would love to help you just really reach your mission and reach your goals. We can do everything on the back end from accounting services to database to website design, social media. We want to help you reach people and make a difference in the world. And so, if there is something that you're really lacking in and that you could really use some assistance, reach out to us. We'll have a link at the end of this podcast to our website, and we would love to hear from you. So, before we end this call, tell me a little bit about how people can really actually get involved with you. If they're just from the outside looking in, how can people help you?
The easiest thing and the thing that I tell everybody no matter where they are in the world is to find our social media posts and share those with other people because knowledge is power. When you take knowledge and you put action behind it, so knowledge and action equals power. So getting people excited about what we do, get them to understand our mission, vision, and purpose, and spreading that out to others, that is probably the most powerful thing that anybody can do. And it's an easy lift. It's a super easy lift. Doesn't really cost you that much time or energy. So that's the first thing. Then go to our website. We have a brand new website. It's gorgeous. Thank you, John Hoffman and Fusion Marketing. You guys are amazing. And we won a grant for that because we couldn't afford to do it. We won a grant for the hosting and the whole thing. They did everything for us. That allows us to share our mission, vision, and purpose with so many people because we have a lot of people come to our website. And also, we're connected with the Jacques Pepin Foundation. So you go to Jacques Pepin Foundation and you see our name on their website, which draws so many more people to it as well. But find out, get on a call with me, look at our website, reach out and connect, whether it's on social media or through the website, whatever. And let's find a place, whether it's on our advisory board, one of our committees as a volunteer, you feel like this is something that, really charges you up, whether it's about food insecurity, homelessness, or poverty alleviation. If those things are important to you, reach out. Let's talk about it. And because we want to fill your cup up as you are helping us.
I love that. And guys, if you are interested in learning more about HR for you, about Transformational Kitchen and all the wonderful things they are doing, please check out their website. We're going to have a link at the end of this podcast, so please go check it out. See how you can get involved, learn more about it. Check out their social medias, like you said. Share their vision, share their mission, and help get the word out about what they're doing. I have absolutely loved talking to you today and learning more about what you guys are doing. I really appreciate you being on this call with me and just sharing with everybody what you guys are up to.
Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us today. Bye bye.